Hi, we're here at Download 2019 and we have Alex Wade, guitarist of Whitechapel. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How you doing? You all right?
Wonderful, yeah. Glad to be here.
Are you enjoying yourself so far?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to playing a little bit later.
Is this the first time that Whitechapel playing at Download Festival?
It's our second time. We've played one time before, and it was actually quite a while ago, maybe like 2010 or something like that. So.
And how do you find it playing in the UK compared to sort of Europe or the US?
It's great. You know, I find playing for the UK is it's pretty similar to the US, honestly. Like playing some of the festivals over there in the US, like Chicago Open Air and stuff like that. It reminds me a lot of Download and stuff. So, you know, we're really excited to be over here and to play Download again after so long. I feel like it's been too long since we've been back. So
it feels too long. It feels far too long. Your latest record, The Valley, has got a fantastic response from the media and fans. How has the response been from the fans live to the new material?
It's been very well. I definitely feel like the fans are liking it. I feel like, you know, there's a certain vibe and a sound to the record, and hearing that live, it just opens it up in a whole new way. So, you know, we're really stoked to be playing all these new songs live. And
it feels like a new phase for Whitechapel, a new era for the band. The album is hard-hitting, fierce, and it feels great to see the band experiment more with ambient sounds along with your core sound. How was the whole songwriting and recording process like?
It was pretty smooth comparatively to some of our past records. You know, we worked with Mark Lewis again, and he did a really great job just engineering the record and making sure all the tracks sounded the way that they needed to sound. And so, you know, working with him again and recording at our home studio again as well. We did all the guitars and bass and vocals there. That's always a really comfortable environment and always helps, you know, while we're tracking. So
it's a bit more conducive to sort of your creativity.
Absolutely, yeah.
The quality of the production of the album, I have to say, is wonderful. The album sounds big and detailed in the sounds. As fine as sections of the music, you're not lost in distortion, blast screams or fast sections. It's very well balanced production. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I would agree, and you know, I appreciate those comments because we really tried to. You know, we tried to do that on purpose to make the record very dynamic. You know, we wanted the parts that were softer and more quiet, and then the parts that were louder and more hard-hitting, the slow parts mixed with the fast parts. You know, we really just want to try to grasp the listener's attention, you know. So.
Yeah. Phil's vocals, for example, are the best I've heard for a long time. Hickory Creek is the best example of how diverse his vocals are. While the instrumental sections are fine in itself, the singing takes the cake in this one. It fits so well and good. What was the approach taken by the band in that?
You know, that song honestly wasn't even really written with the intent of Phil to sing the whole thing on it. Ben Savage wrote the bulk of that song, and with the ideas that Phil had, you know, he didn't even like give us a pre-pro idea or anything. He just basically went in the studio and started singing, and we were like, well, fuck, that sounds great. You know, it's like, it's kind of undeniable, you know, you listen to it and it's like, even if our fans don't like the idea of us having singing, I feel like they can't deny that it doesn't sound good.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's no denying that whatsoever.
Exactly, yeah.
One thing obvious about the album is that it sets high expectations for a massive live sound for the band. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. You know, I'm sure people are listening to that thinking like, okay, this is good, but I'm interested to see how they're going to pull it off live, you know. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, the United Kingdom and Europe's reaction to these new songs because, you know, we're playing Win a Demon and, you know, for this run, we're not playing Hickory Creek or anything like that yet, but I feel like playing Win a Demon and having that section of him singing is like a nice introduction for everybody to be like, oh shit, okay, that's it, you know. They're the real deal. Not only can they pull it off in the studio, but they can pull it off live. So,
speaking of live performances, you've got bands now like Kiss and like Iron Maiden, and they're getting towards the end of, not the end of their careers, but very much in the sort of the golden days of their careers. Who do you think are coming up next?
That's a good question. It's definitely, bands like Slayer, they're on their final world tour, and so those bands are eventually at some point going to move over into that Hall of Fame status.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to have to step up and take that throne. So I would like to think that Whitechapel could hopefully be one of those bands for metal, at least. And I don't know, there's a lot of bands that I feel like that have the potential to kind of do that, as long as the hardest part of it is just keeping it together.
Well, a lot of these bands,
as long as you can outlast everybody else, then you'll end up being that band.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands around at the moment. They're doing their 10, 15, 20th anniversary sort of tours. Is there anything in mind that you got? I mean, you guys have been going around for a long time now. Have you got any plans like that?
Yeah, so last year we did a 10 years of This Is Exile, which was our second record. So we did that 10-year tour, and that actually was very awesome. So that opened up a new thing for us. We're like, okay, so our fans obviously want to see these like record celebration tours.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to be able to do more of those as our career progresses. We'll be able to bust out some of those records again. And I know people have a personal connection with each record, so they might be excited about seeing one record in full, but they might not be excited about seeing another record in full. So like some people that come to see This Is Exile might not come to see like some of the newer stuff. But I think it's cool that we can offer something for like every phase of our fan base. The people that were there in the beginning and the people that are just jumping on board with us.
Well, people are still excited about your earlier album, so it only seems right for you guys to do that, I guess.
For sure, yeah, and it works very well. So I definitely see that. Sadly we didn't get to bring the This Is Exile tour to Europe or anything, but hopefully on the next ones that we do, we'll be able to bring more tours over here.
Yeah. Let's finish up on the future. What's happening with Whitechapel right now?
We're working on just touring the album cycle for the Valley, and so we're finishing up Europe. We're doing this tour, doing festival season, and then we're going to go home and do another tour in the U.S. We haven't announced it yet. And then we're actually going to be coming back in the fall for another European tour.
Awesome.
That hasn't been announced yet either. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be announcing it probably after this tour.
Well, we'll keep our eyes and ears out for that.
Awesome.
Thanks ever so much for joining us at Metal Whiny today.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.